Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Seminary. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across videos that I don't know if I am in shock, but I am kind of surprised that in 2025 things like this are still happening. So I got a story from Onyx who was saying that the day I realized how racist Latino community is, and the other one was talking about how Latinos how they feel like they are not black or they do want to disassociate themselves from being black. And another one is about how a cashier, like, a black, to him, he is the dark skinned man, right? He went to the cashier to buy, he went to the store to buy something, and the cashier was saying some racist thing about people that look like me, not knowing that the man is Afro Latino, right? He is dark. So why she was doing that, and the man started speaking Spanish and told her not to say that she was saying that without even knowing that he speaks Spanish because he is dark skinned, and that whatever she is saying about people that look like me also affects him because he is a dark skinned man. I love this kind of check. 100%. Now, the reality is that sometimes I am still marvel, like I am in shock with the kind of racism that come out from Latino community. I feel like it's 2025 already, and people are supposed to be deconstructing some certain things that they learned from their probably their grandparents and all that. But no, it looks like some people do not want to deconstruct, they do not want to relearn and unlearn. But I am going to just roll this clip. Let's go.
Racism in the Latino community is absolutely horrendous. When I was a sophomore in high school, I was introduced to this Salvadorian girl by one of my friends. The school that I went to for a short period of time, it was predominantly Black, Hispanic, and Latino, with Hispanic and Latino being the majority. When I first met her, she had long brown hair, big brown eyes, and red rosy cheeks. I took a liking to her. We're heading into winter break and we decided to get to know each other during that time. We talked pretty much every day. We went on a few dates. It was a great experience. During this time, we were sharing so much about each other's culture. She was telling me all about El Salvador and Salvadoran culture. I was telling her more about Black culture that she didn't know about. Despite our different races and backgrounds and how heavily divided our school was, we still had a good relationship. After winter break, her and I decided that in the future we were going to keep our relationship on the down low. Only close friends will know about our relationship. At the time, I did not understand why we even did this in the first place. Why is it such a problem and a nuisance to keep our relationship a secret from everybody else? What's also strange to me is her family allows her to be in a relationship. However, she also wanted to keep that from her parents as well. Like I said, I didn't understand why, but I went along with it anyway. At this time, this was one of the most healthiest relationships I've ever been in because she genuinely cared about me and my well-being, and the connection was astronomical. A few months that felt like days has passed, and then the worst has finally come. Our relationship has spread it all across the school, and in the beginning, people responded with positive feedback. Until the next day, an abundant amount of Hispanic and Latinos in the community was very displeased and unsatisfied with my relationship with her. She kept getting threats of comments of people saying that she should not be dating a Black man. He is Black. You should not be dating her. You should be dating an Hispanic man. You should be dating a Latino man. At the time, she did the best she could to fight for me, her, and our relationship. However, in the end, she was suffering from too much mental and emotional pain. Eventually, some people in the Latino community went out of their way to contact her mother to tell her that she is dating a Black man. As it turns out, despite her wanting to be in a relationship with me, her family was very racist and discriminative towards Black people. Her family was comparing me to Black stereotypes, ghetto, hood rat, a thief, made some other comments like Black people are beneath us, they are third rate, you shouldn't be stooping so low to date someone like that. Apparently, a lot of the people in the Latino community who showed disinterest in our relationship thought and felt the same way, but more on colorism. My skin complexion was a threat and a problem to them because they did not like me dating another Latina woman. There were some other Latino men who was very jealous of the fact that I was dating someone like her. With all due respect, she is very attractive, especially with the school that we went to. Her and I was forced to break up and we discontinued our relationship. But unfortunately, it gets worse. There was these two Latina men who was very angry of the fact that I was dating her to begin with, and they wanted to fight me. At the time, I lacked combat skills and experience, and these two Latino guys who wanted to fight me were boxers. I was put at a major disadvantage, but despite this, I didn't really have a choice because there was honor and pride on the line. Despite me knowing for an absolute fact that I couldn't win against these two massive boxers, I still showed up anyway. And I fought, I got my ass beat, and I lost. Granted, my Salvadorian girlfriend at the time had no idea about any of this until I told her afterwards. After I went home looking like a complete mess and taking a very honorable ass whooping, I might add, my uncle was there and he said to me, "Did you win?" And I said, "No." And then he said, "Did you learn something from this?" Absolutely. At that moment in time, after taking a very honorable ass whooping, I decided to learn how to fight myself. A year later, I took up Taekwondo, Kung Fu, and boxing. I still do it to this day. But this is just one of those stories that, once again, I've faced through a lot of colorism and racism, especially when it comes to my relationships and friendships. And you know what? Despite that relationship ending and getting my ass beat by two intermediate boxers, one thing I can say for sure about myself, at least I wasn't a bitch. But why bring this up now? One is because it's one of the next stories I wanted to share with you. And two, I have been seeing so many stories from so many black women, especially brown and dark-skinned women and men, sharing their experiences of racism and colorism from the Latino and Hispanic communities. And my people being constantly shamed and rejected because of our skin tone, because we are the black people. Being constantly rejected and called ugly and inferior because of our skin tones is absolutely insufferable, and it can cause self-hatred within ourselves. So, to all of my beautiful melanated black people, especially the black women, please understand me. You are God's and Mother Nature's greatest accomplishment and greatest creation. You are the black pearl, the onyx crystal that shines brightly when the sun radiates off of your skin. The way your body touches the sand and the water that slides off of your skin. There is nothing more beautiful than that. From your hair to your eyes and your skin tone to your wisdom and your nurturing, you are the greatest reflection of Mother Nature itself. You are absolutely fruitful, and your potential in love is insurmountable compared to anyone and anything else. Understand me. Do not let anyone destroy your self-love or to strip you away of your blackness. Understand that you are the greatest that has ever lived. You hold values and attributes that even our ancient African goddess themselves has passed on to you. So please understand me when I say this. You are meant to be gods and goddesses. So become one. That's all I have to say on the matter. It's Onyx, and I'll see you next time.
It's really common for a lot of Latinos to reject their black identity or indigenous identity and really align themselves with being European or being Spaniard. Or a lot of Latinos growing up are being told to look at conquistadors and colonizers as these heroes, these people who, I don't know, modernize the world. And this is a coping mechanisms that a lot of Latinos were taught from the colonizers. Anti-blackness and colorism stem from the way that Latin America was colonized. That history of being colonized by Spain essentially taught us to despise darker brown skin, including our own. Here's the thing. Every single country has a different story or a different way they coped with the way their country was colonized. General theme, though, within these countries and how they were colonized is that they all attempted to blur the lines of race. Because there were so many people mixing, they allowed there to be some sort of fluidity between race. And this was an attempt to erase blackness within Latin America. They wanted to focus on indigenous and Spaniard mixture. That's why when you're in Latin America, it's very easy for anyone to blend in with the country because there are so many types of Latinos. But when you're an Afro-Latino living in America, things are a little different. Afro-Latinos are at the intersectionality of race and ethnicity. Racially, the US has a binary of you're either white or you're black. So Afro-Latinas have to walk around the US as a black person. Their Latinidad is absolutely ignored or erased. In Latin America, there is a lot of fluidity when it comes to race because we don't acknowledge black people, which sucks. But in the context of the United States, people are put in a box. You're either white or you're black. And the media does a terrible job at portraying black people on the media, in the media. A lot of Latinos will call black Americans the true black people in order to deny their blackness and kind of be othered. So they're not black, they're not white, they're Latino, they're Hispanic. Which I can say I have had trouble with that in the past. And because some of us are othered, that means that they can hide behind whiteness if they wanted to. Because white people see Afro-Latinos as just black, they tend to grow a resentment for Black Americans because of the way white people choose to portray them. That resent that some Afro Latinos might feel is like the precursor to anti-Blackness, which can turn violent like in a matter of seconds. It's the same type of rage that Border Patrol agents, employees that are Latino have. And the crazy thing is, these people, when you ask them what they are, they identify more with their Spaniard or their American identities. They don't really care to associate with their indigenous or African background descent. And that's known as the Latin American racial dance, which means we can use our mixed races and ethnicities to disguise our ethnicity, to disguise who we are, our identity. That was chapters 2 and 3 of this book, Defectors, and also the end of part 1. I will be going over part 2, chapters, what is that, 4 through 6, without you guys knowing, so stay tuned.
All right. Let me give you a word of advice. Man, you got to watch what you say when you say it. Because this is what I'm saying. Because you don't know who speaks Spanish. Yo soy cubano, ¿me entiendes? Pero yo soy cubano, yo soy cubano. Y cuando habla la gente negra, estoy hablando de mí también. Okay, but I'm just saying, you need to watch what you say. Okay, I'm just letting you know though. When you talk about people, especially black people, man, watch what you're saying. I ain't recording you. I'm recording myself. I'm recording you now. I'm recording you now. So, you know what? That's what I'm saying. They be talking that shit Spanish, thinking people don't understand their ass. Yo soy cubano. Cuando hablan de mierda de negros, estoy hablando de mí también. So when you talk about black folks in Spanish, a bunch of them understand what the fuck you're saying. No, y'all talking that nigga shit Spanish. Yo soy cubano, yo entiendo. Cuando habla esa mierda de negros, estoy hablando de mí también. You know what? That's what I'm saying. They be talking that shit Spanish, thinking people don't understand their ass. Yo soy cubano.
This video is shocking to people, not simply because he caught her talking ish in Spanish, because this has happened multiple times before, but because he is proud to be black. And you may say, whoa, you can see that he's black. No. Yes, you can see that he's black, but he put his blackness above his ethnicity. Because so quickly, so many people, not just Hispanics or something like, no, so quickly, so many people from around the world will put their ethnicity above their blackness. But he said, I'm dark, and we're all dark. And you're talking about them, but you're also talking about me because we're all dark. And that is what people don't want you to know, because the moment that dark-skinned people from around the world realize that we are all the same, just having to speak a different language, that is when they're going to have a problem. And that is how they have created this weird group of Hispanics who actually believe like dark-skinned people don't speak Spanish. Me, myself, I am a bilingual person. And time again, I have the same weird-ass conversation when people say, oh, you speak a little Spanish? I said, no, yo hablo en todo español. Cuando tú estás hablando, yo entiendo y todo. Yo hablo y todo. And then it goes to that, to this deafening. When I say deafening silence of fear in their face. Or they say, oh, how you learn Spanish? And I say, oh, como tú aprendes inglés? Lo mismo. How do you learn English? And I say that back. And then they then realize how ignorant that is. Because they just try to relate speaking Spanish to a skin color. And that is why people are so shocked.
This is all I got for this video. Sometimes I ask myself, is it really that bad? Is it really that bad that somebody will tell somebody that, I mean, like, your skin color, you are not next to God, or you are not, like, you shouldn't date this person? I mean, like, but, I don't know. Sometimes it's crazy the way they make it look like we have one kind of a disease, or we have, like, like we are bad luck, or anything that got to do with black people is just not okay. How? Who gave them this mindset? I guess it's colonial mindset, but I think we are already in 2025. Like, are we not supposed to understand that we have the same oppressors? How is this still a thing that till this very moment we are talking about? The man went to the store. And the woman there, the cashier, was talking ill about people that look like me, not knowing that he speaks Spanish too. And he is Afro-Latino. And he caught her. Is this not disgusting? It's absolutely disgusting that in this present time, we still there are entangled in same mindset that their ancestors or their grandparents have. Like, why? It's sick. Really, it's sick. And the fact that you are going to see someone that look like you with the same skin tone and he's telling you, no, we're not the same. Because firstly, before anything happens, before I am even able to identify that that man might be Spanish or this person is, the deed has been done. Probably because you pull your passport. But on the normal, we look alike. We don't, there is no difference. He is dark skinned. You could say that. Then why do I have to date you and hide that I am dating you because of who you are? Man, really? I know I bring all those videos here. I talk about racism. I talk about but sometimes I am still in shock. And all these things are the things that you tell people, they still find, they kind of find it hard to believe because they feel like, how is this even possible? But it is possible. It is happening. My people are experiencing it firsthand. And these are the people that wanted to fight for them. How am I supposed to fight for you? I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.